Thank you for all that you've done for small groups over the years and especially these past 18 months. I know they've come with their fair share of challenges, and so I appreciate all that you have done. If you'll give me about 5 minutes, I'd like to share a bit of my vision for what our small groups can be here at Levy. I don't want any of this. I don't intend for any of this to come across as, well, you're doing it wrong and my plan's going to fix all of our problems. No, not at all. I just look around and I see what a huge impact our groups have made over the years and what a blessing they have been to so many people in their lives, and I simply would like to increase the footprint of that blessing. And so with that, here's what I'm proposing. I'd really like to lean into the mission statement that we have on our auditorium wall that says building a strong family for the glory of God. And the part of that that I'd like to focus on is the building. I believe our small groups are set up perfectly for that part of our mission where there's a good place for us to build something. Our assemblies are vital. They are an important part of congregational life. But by their very nature, they are kind of a one-size-fits-all. They kind of have to be that. But when you get a small group of people sitting around in the living room, you have the opportunity, not necessarily the certainty, but you have the opportunity to really dig in. And with that, I would like to suggest that our small groups' purpose should be discipleship through community. With as many things as we have going on at a church of this size, it could be easy to lose focus on what we should be about, but we never lose focus that we're about Jesus. Becoming a disciple of Jesus Christ. As C.S. Lewis put it in Mere Christianity, I love this quote. It says, the church exists for nothing else but to draw men into Christ, to make them little Christs. If they're not doing that, all the cathedrals, the clergy, the mission, sermons, even the Bible itself are simply a waste of time. God became man for no other purpose. So here's a few definitions I'd like to share with you of disciple that I've found helpful, and I hope that it helps you as well in this. Number one, followers of Christ are striving to be more like Jesus in every aspect of their lives. It comes from Chris Surratt. Disciple says we are people who spend our lives apprenticed to our master, Jesus Christ. We're in a growing, learning relationship, always. Eugene Peterson. And then finally, disciples are people who are constantly revising their affairs to carry through on their decision to follow Jesus. Dallas Willard. That's why I want to focus our small groups on building. We're trying to become more like Christ every day. It's an intentional, purposeful focus because none of us have arrived. None of us. It's an ongoing thing every day. And unless we focus on that, we're not going to grow as we should. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of great things going on at Levy, and especially when it comes to building community. And I think our small groups are a perfect place for community. Let me be clear, community is of vital importance. Jesus himself said, all men will know you are my disciples if you love one another, if you have this community with each other, if it's evident that you love one another. But community is not the goal. It's the context in which we will reach our goal. Because did you catch what Jesus said there? He said, all men will know you are my disciples if you love one another. That's the goal, is being known as disciples and being disciples and growing towards a better relationship with God. And so I want to just share 3 little things here that I think are part of our focus in disciple, because it has kind of 3 aspects or 3 movements or relationships, if you will. And I found this helpful, and I hope that you do as well. Number 1, it's our movement towards God and intimacy with God. Being a disciple means building our relationship, our personal relationship with God, being a disciple. Number 2, our movement toward others or one another. This would be community with insiders. This is our intentional effort to pour into the lives of other people within the church and to help them grow as disciples as well. And then a third movement or relationship would be a movement towards mission. Think of this as our influence with those outside the church, making disciples, an outward focus on those who don't already know Christ. Those three aspects, I think, are all part of discipleship. And my philosophy on this is, if we focus on the most important thing, then a lot of other good things will just fall right into place. Or as C.S. Lewis put it in The Joyful Christian, if you aim at heaven, you'll get earth thrown in. But if you aim at earth, you'll get neither. And so we aim for Christ. We aim for disciples.